English step by step. Present perfect simple, step 5. Remember, if you find this video useful, click like. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click subscribe. If you'd like to request a topic for a video, request in the comments section below. So let's continue with our look at the uses and the meaning of present perfect simple. So let's look at more examples of when we use the present perfect simple. We use this tense when we are referring to a period of time that started in the past and continues until now. In other words, we're talking about a period of time that started in the past and continues until the present. For example, number 1, he's visited many countries. Now that means, including now, in his life, he has visited many countries. Now this is different from the past simple. He visited many countries means we're talking about the past, something finished. Maybe when this person was alive, he visited many countries. Or when he was able to travel, he visited many countries. So we're not including now, we're not including the present, it's all about the past. So that's the difference. He's visited includes the present. He visited, that's finished, that's history. Number 2 is similar. She's written a lot of books. Now, if we say this sentence, that means she's still alive and she's still writing. And in her life, she's written many books. If we use the past simple, she wrote a lot of books, that implies that at the moment she can't write any books. In fact, it could imply that she isn't alive anymore, that when she was alive, she wrote a lot of books. Number 3, he's helped a lot of people. Now that means he's not finished helping people. So it's including the present. He's helped a lot of people, and that includes people now. If we say he helped a lot of people, that means it's in the past, it's finished. Maybe before he retired, he helped a lot of people. Number 4, she hasn't had any children in her life. Now that means her life is not finished, and possibly in the future she will have children. She didn't have any children. Well, that implies that it's in the past, it's finished, and maybe when she was alive, she didn't have any children. Or when she was younger, she didn't have any children. Number 5 is a question. Have they found a vaccine yet? Now that means recently, a period up until the present. Did they find a vaccine? Well, that means during a period in the past. It sounds like a question about history, about a past historical period, during a finished period in the past. Number 6, has she won the match? Now that means recently, and maybe the match hasn't finished. And then, did she win the match? Well, that means it's a finished period in the past, maybe a long, long time ago. Did she win the match? Number 7, he has won 3 Oscars. Now, this is for an actor or an actress, and we can say he has won 3 Oscars if he is still alive. In other words, his acting career hasn't finished, and maybe in the future he will win more. If we say he won 3 Oscars, well, that's talking about a finished acting career. His acting career is history. So you can see when we use the present perfect simple, the meaning is different from past simple. Let's look at more examples of when we use the present perfect simple. We use this tense when we are asking about experiences during a life which continues up till now and will continue. Now, in these examples we have questions, and in these questions we often use the word ever to refer to this period. For example, have you ever travelled in an African country? Now, ever means in your life. Now this is different from the past simple. If you say, did you travel, that's talking about a finished period in the past, and that means, for example, a specific time in the past, last year. That's not talking about a long period, that's talking about one particular point of time. So, have you ever travelled is different from did you travel. Have you ever travelled is talking about a period. Did you travel? That's talking about a point of time in the past. So let's move on to number 2. Has he ever been skiing? So this is talking, again, it's talking about a period in his life, up till now, including now. Now, that's different from the past simple question, did he go skiing, which is about a specific time in the past that is finished. Did he go skiing last winter? Number 3, have they ever ridden on a motorbike? So that's asking about an experience in the past and the period including now. Up until now and including now. Did they ride on a motorbike when they were younger? Well, that's asking about a period or a point of time in the past that is finished. So, number 4 is similar. Has she ever drunk tequila? Well, that's asking about an experience in her life, including now, because her life is not finished. Did she drink tequila in a club? Well, that's asking about a past experience which has finished. So, you can see the difference. Present perfect simple for experiences including the period up until now. Did you travel? Finished experiences. We also use the present perfect simple when we are referring to the number of times that something has happened from a point of time in the past up until the present. So, the number of times, that's important. Examples. I've read that book about 10 times. Now that means during a long period up until now, I have read the book 10 times. Now, if we change it to past simple, that means it's not including the present and it's not the period until the present. It's a finished period in the past. I read that book 10 times when I was a boy. Number 2, he's visited London dozens of times in his life, up until the present time. Now, the second sentence is past simple. He visited London dozens of times, and then we have information about when this happened in the past, when he worked as a sales manager. Number 3, she's been married 5 times. She may get married again. Now that means during the period up until now, she's been married 5 times. She was married 5 times. Now that's talking about something in a period of history in the past which has finished and does not include the present time. And we could also give more information. For example, she's no longer with us. If you're talking about, for example, a famous Hollywood actress, for example, she was married 5 times and she's no longer with us. The next one, I've learned 5 languages. And again, that means during my life up until and including the present. I learned 5 languages when I was younger. Well, that's talking about an experience in the past which included learning 5 languages. So, you can see the difference is to do with the present perfect simple includes the present. We also use present perfect simple when we are referring to a unique thing that has happened during a life which continues up to now. In these cases, we often use the superlative or sentences with such. Well, let's look at some examples. Number 1, this is the most interesting book I've ever read. And if you say ever, that means in my life. Number 2. This is the most delicious meal I've ever had. Number 3. That's the most shocking thing I've ever heard. Number 4. That's the funniest joke I've ever been told. And this is an example of a passive voice verb, because I've ever been told includes the auxiliary verb been, which indicates that it's a passive verb. Somebody told me, somebody has told me, I have been told. So that's a passive example. Number 5. She's the most intelligent person I've ever met. And then we can look at examples with questions. Have you ever seen such a violent film? And that means in your life. Have you ever heard such awful music? Have you ever done such a difficult exam? Now, I'm giving you these examples with present perfect simple, but I should also mention that in American English, you can find examples like this using the past simple, because sometimes American grammar in connection with past simple and present perfect simple is different. In other words, in American English, writers and speakers and, well, in everyday American English, they use the present simple more often, when in English we use the present perfect simple. There is more to say about present perfect simple, so we'll look at more points in step 6 video, the next video in the series.